Hey guys, it's Silver. So I'm going to tell y'all about a real life story that's happening as I'm talking to you right now. Now, I don't know how the outcome's going to be. I'm just telling you what I've read, what I saw, and what I'm disappointed in. Now, I'm not going to use the people's real names. I'm going to call them June and Jane. June and Jane are having an argument, and it got really, really bad. Jobs got called. Law enforcement got called. Platforms were created to bully, harass, mock, and even ask June to basically unalive herself. I mean, literally told her to unalive herself multiple times. And I read a comment that was sent to me and everything else, screenshots. And this comment said, "Why don't you come to Canada for maid service?" And that made no sense to me in the least little bit. I'm thinking, okay, there's only 2 creators in Canada and everything else, and they're having a disagreement with June, and I'm not understanding because the other creator and everything else lives in a whole different country and state. And I'm like, that don't make no sense. And then the explanation came. I was told what it meant, and I'm like, nah, it can't mean that. Let me show you. I asked Siri, what does maid service mean in Canada? And that's what Siri told me. Now you can see right there, I am in the message and everything else with the person that I'm talking to. And I did not want to really believe that that's what it meant. So I asked Siri, and that's what Siri showed me. I was in utter disbelief. I was in utter shock that somebody would say such horrible things to another human being. It's unacceptable. To the person that was writing those things to another human being and everything else, you need to take that to God. You really do. Now, I don't know how this story is going to play out. I don't know what's going to happen, but after reading and hearing and everything else, that what I read and what I saw and what I heard and everything else, it disturbed my heart enough to come on here. And I'm not using their names or anything else. So if you know about the conversation and everything else and you out what's going on and everything else, that's on you. No one knows. But that's wrong. And to Jane, they got you saying that you had possession of that platform. The screenshots show all of the comments coming from that platform. I don't know how you're going to fight that. And this is to everyone that thinks it appropriate to tell someone to swing from a rope or get maid service in Canada and that type of unkind and unnecessary behavior. The internet's forever. What you put out and everything else, even in the messages that you send to your so-called friends and everything else, it isn't private. It will eventually be brought to the light. Everything you do in the dark will come to the light. So you always want to be kind and courteous and loving to everyone. If you feel like you don't like somebody and everything else and you cannot get through to them and all you want to do is fight with them and everything else, that's when you break off and you go to God and you pray and everything else, and you just don't do what the devil is wanting you to do. Because if you start listening to what he wants and everything else, he'll destroy not only your life, but everything you love. Now, Jane is saying that this did not happen, that this was not her platform and everything else. June is saying it is. June has evidence that backs up what she's saying and everything else. And this is going to be very hard for Jane to fight. And I understand that TikTok isn't a court of law. And this should not be judged on TikTok. I absolutely 100% agree with that. But considering everything is being dropped on social media and everything else, there are going to be people that have an opinion on it. But what's really sad is the real lives in the real world that are going to be affected by bad behavior on social media. And I just don't know how it's going to play out. I'm going to be praying about the situation. I'm not judging anybody on the situation. I was just disappointed in what I heard, what I read, and all of the accounts I saw that was created to bully and harass somebody. And I know how it feels to have account after account after account come at you after you block them. Again, if you do not like somebody, block them. Don't engage. Because every bad thing that you do will come back to you. Alright. Thank y'all for watching. Again, I didn't use anybody's real name. I don't intend to. But I did want to get all of this negative off of me and tell y'all to be good and kind people.